Good morning, y'all. I'm going to be doing some more work in my Angels journal in this video. I'm just going back and doing some work on some of the pages that I've already worked on to add some things throughout, finish getting the pages ready to bind. And the first thing that I wanted to do was put this angel card that I made on this page as an embellishment, and I just layered that up on some pressed paper that was sort of a deep maroon color and stitched around the edges of the angel card, and then I'm just going to glue this into place. After I get the pages bound, I'll come back and start adding words, phrases, quotes. I'm thinking about using some feathers in this journal, and come back and start decorating with fabric and fibers and things. I did do quite a bit of stitching off camera. I stitched around that card. I did some stitching around this card. I stitched around this black card. And I found this piece of scrapbook paper that I had left from another project. I'm going to use it on this page on the left. And I decided just to add a little pocket with a thumb hole. I took my cutting board and cut this more square, and then added a thumb hole notch to it with my hole punch, and then inked all around it and got rid of some of that sort of white space with Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. Sorry, that is a 1-inch circle punch, not a hole punch. And then I knew I wanted to do some stitching, so I'm using black thread mostly throughout this journal. Actually, I'm using almost all black thread so far throughout this journal. So I'm just doing some decorative stitching along the edges. Reapplied some ink where the needle had poked through and showed a little bit of white space. And then I'm going to take my Eileen's tacky glue and glue that pocket into place. I absolutely love this angel in the green here. She's so pretty. Okay, and that is the first signature. I'm going to work on the second signature now. And I have this page. This is the page where I ended the last video. And I did some things. I took this piece of paper and I folded it and inked it up a little bit. And I believe this is from Tailor Made Journals from her Victorian Gothic kit. And this will now slide into this envelope for a little bit of extra writing space. And I inked up around that envelope. I inked this postcard, backed it with coffee dyed paper. And then this is the angel that I had worked on, and I stitched along the left side. And I need to get her glued into place now, and I'm going to make her a side loading pocket. These angel images are available on Etsy from Tailor Made Journals. I used her Eternal Guardians kit. And then I also used angels from Vintage Bonbon over on Etsy. I'm also using this angel card that I made as a side loading pocket as well. And now I'm going to take this page to my sewing machine and zigzag stitch around the entire page. Most of these back brown papers that I'm using are also from Tailor Made Journals. You can find these in her kit called Gilded Leather Grunge. I wasn't paying attention and tangled my thread there. Had to get it untangled and finish stitching. Had a little bit of the edge get caught in the feed dogs in the sewing machine. So I just worked that out by stretching the paper and re-inking it. And there's my finished page. Now I'll slide all the cards back into place. And the envelope and the postcard I will put into this side loading pocket. And I don't think I've had enough coffee yet this morning, you guys. That is an index card. And I have a side loading pocket here, but I haven't made anything for that yet. I added some more scraps into this little pocket that I'm going to use later to decorate with or possibly make another card with. And this angel that I absolutely love, I stitched around her. I stitched around that card. I stitched around this little card. Stitched around those. So the second signature is done and ready to be bound. So I'm going to work on the third signature. Again, stitched around that card. I want to work on this page. First, I want to say how absolutely gorgeous is this page on the back. It's beautiful. I have 2 angel cards from the Eternal Guardians kit, and I have a couple of pieces of file folder that I've cut down into rectangles, the width that I want to use on the pages. I need to adjust these for the height of the journal. So I'll just cut this piece off the top, make sure it fits. And then I decided my angels were still a little bit too wide, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off of the edge of each one so they fit a little bit better on the file folder piece because I'm going to stitch around them. And what I'm making is a double belly band page layout. And I'll take my sewing machine and I will stitch along the left and right side of each one of these cards. But first I do add some vintage photo distress oxide around the edges to age the cards. Now I'm going to put some glue along the top and bottom edge and leave the middles open so that they can be used as belly bands to tuck things into. And I'll just glue these into place, and then I'll take the entire page to my sewing machine and stitch all the way around the edges with the zigzag stitch to match the rest of the journal. I'll just clip all of these extra strings, and here's my completed page. And I'll just show you how it works. You can now slide things into each one of these sections. So this page is also completed now, and the third signature is ready to bind. And this is where I'm going to stop this video for today. Thanks for watching, y'all. Try to have a good day.